Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Walt from Mouse Talk, and we are back with episode 11 of Mouse Madness. And for those of you who are watching on the replay, welcome in. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. That way, every time we do go live, you are notified. And if we post a new video, you're notified. And today, we are going to do something really fun. We've done a few of these in the past. And today, we're going to do the first part of our, what will probably be a two-parter. It's going to be our Disney Dining Bracket Challenge. This is going to be a lot of fun. What we're going to do is we're going to do a 64 team or 64 restaurants in the Walt Disney World area, including Disney Springs, including the resorts, including the parks, and we're going to let you guys vote, and I'll do some voting myself, and kind of get it dwindled down to the final four of all the different restaurants around Walt Disney World. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We do this all the time, and I think it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to see what everybody likes, what their favorites are, and we're going to have a good time with it. So let's get into the chat and see who's in there. Hey, Brian, welcome in, buddy. Hi, Melissa. Welcome in as well. And we're going to have a good time with it. We're going to, again, what we'll do is I'll tell you the matchups, and as each matchup comes and goes, you're going to tell me who you pick and who you don't pick, and we'll count them down until we get down to number one. Now, we won't do it all today. What we'll basically get probably down to is we'll probably do the first round tonight, and then next week we'll finish up. But it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of restaurants, so many different restaurants throughout Walt Disney World. And so many of them are signature restaurants, fantastic. Even the ones that aren't considered signature restaurants, a lot of them are really good restaurants. So We're gonna count them down. We're gonna wait for a few people to get in here, and then we'll get going, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, when this video originally aired, it is New Year's Day, so hope everybody's having a Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Brian. And yeah, 2019 is gonna be a good year. We're gonna do a lot of different videos this year. Of course, our live streams. Melissa and I are working to get our podcast back up, and hopefully we'll take care of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Easy with only 3. Yeah, I know. That's okay. Well, hopefully some other people will jump in, Brian. That's okay. You can vote. Absolutely, you can vote. Look, there's some of these on this list that Melissa and I haven't done. Hey, Chris, welcome in. Happy New Year. There's a lot of them on this list that I haven't done either. So it's definitely going to be something else. Hey, look, by the way, everybody, look. Melissa got me my birthday present. I'm wearing it. It's my Mouse Talk shirt. Isn't that cool? Finally got a Mouse Talk shirt. I've been wanting to get one for a while. So I asked for it for my birthday, and Melissa got me one. So it's great. And of course, for those, just a little plug, if you're ever looking to get a Mouse Talk shirt, you can get it in the link in the description down below is the Spreadshirt place where you can get them. But it was fun. I'm going to get a couple more, too. Got to get one with Mouse Madness on it, too. All right, yeah, Disney Dining for sure, Chris. Us too. You know, there's a lot of them on this list that we've done, and there's actually a few that we haven't done. So that's where I'm going to really lean on everybody in the chat to help with some of these, because some of them are really hard. Now, disclosure / disclaimer real fast is, yeah, it is an awesome birthday present, Brian. I agree. Some of these, I think all of them are all sit-down restaurants. Hey, Noah, welcome in, buddy. Happy New Year to you. All of these are sit-down restaurants. There shouldn't be any quick service in here. Shouldn't be any snack service in here as well. And if there is, I apologize, but I don't think there are. I think they're all sit-down restaurants for sure. And I think I got pretty much most of them. There may be a couple here and there that may be some of your favorites that may not be on this list, and I apologize if they're not. I thought I got most of them. So hopefully they'll be here. Hey, Juan, welcome in. Happy New Year to you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. We're just getting ready to get started. We're going to do our countdown or our bracket challenge of Disney Dining. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too, buddy. Disney Dining. We're going to count down and talk about all the different restaurants. And some of these matchups are some hard ones. Oh, we got some really good matchups in here for dining. So we're going to wait a little bit more, a couple more minutes, and then we'll get started. So hopefully, anybody go out for New Year's? Anybody else do anything? I know we didn't. We stayed in. We didn't do anything, for sure. Bengal barbecue. There you go. Now, see, I don't know what Bengal... What's Bengal barbecue, Juan? Is that something out... Is that in Disneyland? I'm curious. I see they had the new... what was it called, Melissa? The new hideaway place opened up at Disneyland. I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, we stayed up for the ball drop, Chris, but it wasn't much longer. Ah, okay. All right, Brian, that's cool. Cool. And again, what we're looking at is we're looking at everything from Disney Springs, all the different resorts, all the parks. Everything's included, as much as we could. Now, we can only get 64 of them. So, like I said, I think we got the 64 best. Tropical Hideaway, that's the name of it, Juan. Right. Yep, that's it. Chris, I wish I was 40 again. I'm not. Tropical Hideaway, there you go. Thank you, Noah. All right, well, we're going to get started. And our first matchup, teriyaki steak. There you go, Brian, for sure. Yeah, I'm surprised Disney Dan's not in here. We're talking food. I was pretty sure he'd be in here. He might drop in. You never know. But let's get started. So we're going to do our first matchup. And again, I'm looking for votes from you guys, too, to help me with the voting here. We have Beer Garden. And Beer Garden is located in Epcot and Melissa, you can help me. I think it's in the Germany Pavilion. Or it might be actually, I think it's Germany. But Beer Garden versus Jiko. And Jiko is over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's one of the restaurants over there. So we have Beer Garden versus Jiko. For those of you in here, anybody else out there ever eaten it? It is Germany. Okay. Very nice, Juan. Nice. 4 different places. That's pretty cool. So Brian says Beer Garden. Okay. And for Melissa and I, we have not eaten at either one of these restaurants. Chris says Beer Garden. Been there 3 times in 3 trips. Good. Okay. Chris, what did you think of the food? Did you love the atmosphere? Also the beer. There you go. Okay, so Beer Garden gets 2 votes so far. Brian says he gets his vote because he's German. Noah says Beer Garden as well. Interesting. Okay. And again, some of these I'm going to lean on you guys. Hey, Leanne, welcome in. Happy New Year to you. We're doing our Disney Bracket Challenge on Disney Dining. All the restaurants in Disney World. Chris says he likes the food. Some people say it's not German enough, but it's German light, I think. All right, there you go. Makes sense. So Beer Garden gets most of the votes so far. No votes for Jiko, which I'm really surprised because a lot of people say Jiko is one of the best restaurants on property. But I'm not 100. Like I said, we've not tried any of them, so I can't really say. All right, so I think we've got most of the votes so far. And we're going to go with Beer Garden. I think you guys are all giving it the go-ahead, so we're going to go with Beer Garden. Which, again, kind of surprised me because I thought most people would say Jiko. All right, now we're going to stick to this left side bracket for now. Okay? Yeah, we're going to stick to the left side for now. It's pretty cool, he says in there. It's designed to make it look like you're eating outside at night. I'll say they have a German. Yeah, I did know all that, Chris. I did know they had all that stuff, and it does look really nice in there. And I like the fact that they have the entertainment for you. You know, Brian, I don't know if they would or not. That's a good question. Excuse me as I take a drink here. All right, so the next matchup, so Beer Garden's going to move on. Our next matchup is Olivia's. Olivia's is over at Key West, Old Key West Resort, versus Sanaa. Again, we're sticking with Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So Olivia's versus Sanaa. So who does everybody pick there? Brian says German food's very acidic, lots of vinegar and pickling spices. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Brian. It may not then. Brian says Sanaa. All right. Chris says he hasn't eaten either one of them, but he wants to eat at Sanaa. Okay. I've heard good things about Sanaa too. It's funny, all three of the ones over at Animal Kingdom. Hey, Rob, welcome in. He says Sanaa for the bread service. Leanne says Sanaa because I have eaten there. Very good. There you go. A lot of votes for Sanaa. Noah says Sanaa. Yeah, it's funny too because when I think of Olivia's is one of the places that I want to eat at because I've heard about their chicken. So Melissa says Sanaa. Well, it's pretty apparent that everybody's picking Sanaa, so we're going with Sanaa. So Sanaa moves on to the next round. So good job, everybody. So Sanaa moves on. And remember, as you're coming in, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up for us. Give us a like. Give us a hit on that like. It definitely helps the stream. And again, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Just hit that subscribe and bell notification. Also, if you could share it out, maybe tweet it out on Twitter for us or Facebook, that'd be great. I would definitely appreciate that as well. Definitely helps. Hopefully we'll get some more people in here to help make these voting a little bit more fun. But I'm very happy with who's in here, and thank you for spending your New Year's Day evening with me. I appreciate it. We won't hold you long, but we're going to have fun. All right, so we got 2 matchups down. Yeah, Leanne, we haven't been to Olivia's yet either, but I'd like to go. I've heard good things about it. So the next matchup, and this is a tough one, I think, for me, is California Grill versus Teppan Edo. And I think is it Teppan Edo or Teppan Edo? I'm not sure, but Teppan Edo is over at the Japan Pavilion. It's kind of like a hibachi grill, for those who don't know. And California Grill is, of course, the one on top of the Contemporary, the one with the great views of Magic Kingdom. Thanks, Noah. Appreciate that. So let's see. Again, we have California Grill versus Teppan Edo. So Brian says Teppan Edo or Teppan Edo. I'm not sure if it's Edo or Edo, but I'm going to say Edo for now. Rob says California Grill, great food and view. Yeah, the view is great. Brian, you can't vote twice. Melissa says California Grill. Leanne, that's okay. There's a lot of these I haven't eaten at either. Now, we have eaten at Teppan Edo for sure, but we haven't eaten at California Grill. Chris, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Yep, you've eaten at Teppan Edo, but you'll vote California Grill. Teppan Edo is good, but you can get that kind of food at home. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I totally understand that. T-Town Mary Ellen, welcome in, Mary Ellen. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you. We are voting on our favorite Disney restaurants, and right now we are doing California Grill versus Teppan Edo. Oh, okay. It is Teppan Edo. Okay. I got you now. All right, so everybody's saying California Grill. So I'm going with California Grill. Although I did really, really like Teppan Edo. I will say that was the first time I had ever experienced a hibachi grill. Was in Disney World at Teppan Edo. I hadn't experienced one before that because I'm not a big Japanese food fan, and tried it one time because I knew Melissa and my oldest wanted to try it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And Noah says he's eating at Skipper Canteen at Magic Kingdom for dinner. Well, I think that's going to be in here somewhere, Noah, so be prepared for that one. It's coming. All right, our next matchup. Again, a really tough matchup. This one is Ohana over at the Polynesian. That's Ohana versus Tiffin's. Ohana versus Tiffin's. Now, Tiffin's is located at Animal Kingdom, at the park, Animal Kingdom Park. So we have Ohana versus Tiffin's. That's a tough one, for sure. I know what Melissa, I was going to say, I know what Melissa's going to say. She's going to say Ohana. Brian says Ohana. Melissa says Ohana. I think think for me it's going to be... I'm not going to say yet. I'm going to wait for you guys. Noah liked it. Very good. Ohana for the win. Chris says, this is my second favorite Disney restaurant. The dessert is divine. There you go. So Ohana. Noah says Ohana. Leanne says Ohana. Rod says Ohana. Oh, how about that, too? Mary Ellen didn't know that. I think I want to try Skipper Canteen too, Brian, for sure. All right, well, we're going with Ohana. So Ohana is going to move on. Ohana moves on. So our next matchup is going to be, if I can get it to pull up here, and this is going to... Yeah, no, we're definitely going to do a part 2, for sure. Absolutely. It'll be next week, but we're only going to do the first round this week, and then we'll finish up next week, because the first round is always the longest. All right, so our next matchup is Akershus, and Akershus is like a royal banquet hall. It's over in Norway, and it's kind of like a character meet and greet. It's the princesses. So Akershus versus Tokyo Dining. Of course, Tokyo Dining is the other restaurant at the Japan Pavilion. So Akershus versus Tokyo Dining. And Chris says Skipper Canteen is different but has some good stuff. There you go. On some of them, Brian, yeah, I am kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm trying. I'm not really good at it, to be honest with you. But, you know, I mean, I like what I like, and I'm I'm kind of at a point now where I don't want to change. Yeah, my taste buds are kind of set, but who knows? I'm trying here and there. So Brian says Akershus. Chris is thinking about it. It's not easy. Some of these are hard. Noah says Akershus. And we have eaten at neither one of these either. We were almost ate at Akershus this year. We were going to do a dining reservation there, but we decided against it and we went the other way. Leanne says Akershus. And I keep yawning, guys. I am so sorry. We were up late and I got up early, so it's been a long day. Akershus. Rob says Akershus. By Cinderella's nose. That's a good one. Brian. Oh, I know, Brian. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yawn. So Akershus gets a ton of votes. No votes for Tokyo Dining. Now, Chris says he did Akershus for dinner, and the Norwegian cuisine was interesting. My daughter wasn't a fan, though. Good character experience. Tokyo has good sushi. I'll go with Akershus, okay? Cool. Yep. Well, that's the thing. A lot of times you'll get that. It depends. Because I can say the same thing about one of the other ones where you do It's a Character Dining, where I think the experience was really good, but the food wasn't great. So I totally get that. I totally get that. All right, so we're going to say Akershus, because that would have probably been the one I picked as well. Because I think if I had to choose between the two on which one I would dine at, I would take Akershus first. All right, hey Noah, here you go. Our next matchup is going to be Skipper Canteen versus Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. The Skipper Canteen versus the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. Melissa for sushi. Melissa likes, I think she likes sushi a little bit, Brian, but I don't think she's a big fan. Thanks, Leanne. I appreciate that very much. Hey, Stacy, welcome in. Happy New Year. We're doing our bracket challenge. No, I knew you were going to say that. We're doing our Disney Dining Bracket Challenge. We're doing a bracket of all the dining restaurants in Walt Disney World, or most of them. So there you go, Brian. No sushi for Melissa. So Chris is with Noah. He says Skipper Canteen as well. So we get 2 votes for Skipper Canteen. So far, no votes for There's one. Mary Ellen, Sci-Fi Dine-In. Brian says Skipper Canteen because it's different. And this one's going to be a toughie. You know what, Leanne? We've eaten. Melissa and I and the boys have eaten at Sci-Fi Dine-In. And we enjoyed it. Our waiter was a little different. But overall, it was good. We liked it. Yep, Skipper Canteen's right there by Jungle Cruise. It's really basically, it's connected to Jungle Cruise in the story. That's who they are. So that's kind of cool. Chris, that's true. I don't know. I'll say this about Sci-Fi Dine-In. We didn't dislike the food. I mean, I can't say it was terrible, but you're right. I mean, I've had better, for sure. There you go. Rob says Skipper Canteen's food is a little adventurous, but he loves the atmosphere. All right. Well, it looks like Skipper Canteen is moving on. So here you go. He is moving on. She is moving on. All right. Our next matchup. This is the final matchup in our top left bracket. If we're doing brackets, you have, the top left, the top right, the bottom left, bottom right. I'm opposite. Sorry, I can't help it. Wow, how about that, Chris? Damn, they must have been some great appetizers. Oh, that's cool, Leanne. That's really nice. No, that makes sense. Absolutely. That's a good reason to like it. Absolutely. Good sentimental value there. So our last two matchups on this bottom left side, or top left side, the next one, this is going to be a toughie, I think, for some. We have Be Our Guest Restaurant versus Trattoria Al Forno. Again, Be Our Guest versus Trattoria Al Forno. Of course, Be Our Guest is one of the main restaurants over in Fantasyland, New Fantasyland at Magic Kingdom. And Trattoria Al Forno, hey, Dougie, welcome in. Welcome in. Happy New Year to you. And Trattoria Al Forno is down at the boardwalk. And they've just added, it's a couple years old now, but they added a new kind of like adventure thing where you can meet Ariel and Rapunzel. And we did that. We did that as well. We've eaten at both of these restaurants. They're both very good. But Mary Ellen says, Be Our Guest. Dougie, that's a good question. I'm going to say it doesn't matter. It can either be new menu or old menu, whichever one you've experienced. If you've experienced both, it's really up to you. Jennifer, welcome in. We know you're probably putting up with Brian right now. Keep him in line. So Be Our Guest, Be Our Guest, Be Our Guest. Wow, everybody. Really, Leanne, now that's funny you said that because Melissa and I were pleasantly surprised with the breakfast at Be Our Guest. Brian says he's a pest. He's going to vote for Trattoria Al Forno. Brian, I'll be honest with you. It was pretty good. We had breakfast there, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I saw that, Stacy. Resort TV 1, everybody. Make sure if you haven't already gone out to Resort TV 1, subscribe to their channel. They have a great channel. They do wonderful stuff, Josh and Jenna. They hit 40,000 today. That's fantastic. Congrats to them. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get... I'd be happy with 4,000. But no, they do great stuff. They certainly do, Stacey. You're right. I'm glad you said that. Thank you. Chris says he's only done Be Our Guest for breakfast, and we had Trattoria Al Forno on our list for the last trip, but canceled it. If I was picking to go at one, you go with Trattoria. Okay. Yeah, dinner's really good, Leanne. Be honest with you. We love dinner there. Let's see. So who we got? We got Brian saying hi to Jen. Rob says he wants to be like I want to like Be Our Guest more. Tough reservation to get. It is a tough reservation to get, Rob. I'll admit it. For me, I have to be honest. Well, I have to go. No, time for me to eat. No problem, Stacy. Everyone, you have a great night as well. If you get a chance, stop back in. We'd love to chat with you. Obviously, we'd love to have you vote as well. No problem. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much for the support. Be sure to hit that like button before you head out, if you could. Yeah, Leanne, that'll do it. A lot of times if expectations are really, really high and they don't go the way you expected, I can see that. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. But I'd say give it another try. Just try it one time. See it, might be a little bit different. But I think for me, I'm going to have to go with Be Our Guest. Because every time we've gone there, we've had very good experiences. We've tried dinner and breakfast, so we've tried two different types of atmospheres there, and we enjoyed both. Hey, Sherry, welcome in. Happy New Year to you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping in. We are doing our Disney Bracket Challenge. We are doing our Dining Bracket Challenge. Hey, Ray J, welcome in. Happy New Year to you. Hope you're doing well. Glad everybody's in here. We'll be sure to get some votes in. Brian, Dougie, that's true. Be Our Guest is great, and you're right. Trattoria Al Forno has Ariel. So that's a good point, you know, and you get to meet her there, absolutely. But for me, I'm going to choose Be Our Guest. I really enjoy the experience there. Happy 2019 to you too, Sherry. Yep. Yep, absolutely. All right, so let's move on. We are going to move on to our final matchup in this bracket, and it is Planet Hollywood versus Citricos. Planet Hollywood versus Citricos. No, not at all, Dougie. You're doing great, buddy. I think you're doing great. I'm glad you're here. So Planet Hollywood versus Citricos. Now, I'll say this. Melissa and I have never done either one of these. I've done Planet Hollywood at other places before. I haven't done the one at Disney World. At least I don't think we did. Melissa, did we? I don't think we did. But Citricos is one of those I would like to try. So Citricos versus Planet Hollywood. Yeah, that's what I heard too, Brian. Heard the same thing. But Leanne, now you've eaten at Planet Hollywood. Did you like it? Because I heard it wasn't very good there. So you let me know. Chris says he went to Planet Hollywood once in Atlantic City, so Citricos. Dougie says Citricos. Sherry says Citricos. Noah says Planet Hollywood. So this one's close. Got a couple votes for both. Absolutely. That's good. I like it when it's a little bit harder because then it kind of comes down to me. Rob says Citricos. Okay. So we got some variety here. I was surprised by that. Ray J says Citricos because Planet Hollywood is not appealing. Makes sense. That's fine. All right. Let's see. Soon ago, it was good then. Okay. All right. Yeah, well, it's been a little while. All right. Well, I'm going to go with Citricos because of the two, I've not heard very many good things about Planet Hollywood, unfortunately. And secondly is, I'm going to move this down just a little bit, is I think I want to try Citricos. I've heard good things about it. And Citricos, for those that don't know, is over at the Grand Floridian. Yeah, Chris, as much as I hate to say it, that is true. That's a good way to put it. You're right. All right, so that's it for the bracket on the top left side. Now let's move over to the right side and start with the next one. And this one is going to be Monsieur Paul versus Hollywood and Vine. Now, Monsieur Paul is over in the, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Canada Pavilion at Epcot. It's considered signature dining versus Hollywood and Vine, which, of course, is over at Hollywood Studios. So who do you pick there? Monsieur Paul versus Hollywood and Vine. That's true, Sherry. It is like apples and oranges. It is definitely different. So Monsieur Paul versus, France. That's it. France Pavilion. Thank you. Yep, you're right. Thank you, everybody. Sorry about that. France Pavilion. Yeah, I should know that because I know which one's in the Canada Pavilion. Leanne says Hollywood and Vine, her husband loved it, but she was meh. So who do you pick, Leanne? I'm curious. Rob picks Monsieur Paul. And we've not eaten. Man, as I go through this list, I realize there's a lot of different restaurants we've not eaten at yet. Chris says Monsieur Paul. I've heard it's pretty good. I've also heard Hollywood is gross. I have not eaten at either one of them. But you're right. I don't think, Melissa, and you can probably back me up on this, I don't think we've heard very many good things about Hollywood and Vine either. Rob wasn't impressed with Hollywood and Vine. No, Leanne, that makes total sense. But yeah, you got to pick one. I'm just kidding. Mary Ellen says Monsieur Paul. It's true. It's true. You know what? It's funny you say that because that could happen. We did that one trip we went on our last couple trips back, and Melissa would probably know which one it was. We had a dining reservation for every single day. Every single day. Either it might have been a breakfast, it might have been a lunch, or it might have been a dinner, but we had at least one every single day. And it was a different restaurant. So that was really cool. It takes up a lot of your time, but it was fun. All right, so we're going to go with Monsieur Paul, I think, on this one. Hollywood and Vine for Ray J. Says they have their reasons. Well, for me, I'm gonna have to go with Monsieur Paul on this one. I've heard good things about it, and again, I haven't heard very many good things about Hollywood and Vine. But again, that doesn't mean it's not good. But that's who we're going with on this one. Yeah, Brian, unfortunately, that's what I heard too. Yeah, Chris, and that's the thing. You got to want to do it. And Sherry, I'm not big on the fancy places either. Because some of that food, like I said, I've always said, I'm just kind of a meat and potatoes, plain Jane kind of guy. Those unique cuisine restaurant places don't always appeal to me. So I get that. All right, so the next matchup. This is an interesting matchup. Our next matchup is the Hollywood Brown Derby versus Crystal Palace. Now, we've eaten at the Crystal Palace. We've not eaten at the Brown Derby. So, the Hollywood Brown Derby versus Crystal Palace. Yeah, Brian, absolutely. We've watched the Diz. Absolutely. Hey, there's Dan. Welcome in, Dad. Yeah, we are doing our Disney Dining Bracket Challenge, buddy. We're going down to all 64 of the top restaurants. At least I think they're the top. And we are letting them duke it out to see who's going to be number one. We've already got one bracket down. Hey, Dean, welcome in, buddy. That's all right. You can always watch the replay. I'm just kidding. But you can. Look at that. Look, I got to show everybody who's just coming in. Melissa got me a shirt for Christmas or for my birthday. It's our logo on the shirt. Isn't that nice? I'm very excited. Well, welcome in, everybody. And everybody so far on this one is saying Crystal Palace, Crystal Palace, Crystal Palace. Chris says Brown Derby. Chris says he's going to try the lounge on the February trip. There you go. Rob says Crystal Palace, character dining gives it the edge. I did like the character dining there, Rob. I agree. I liked the Winnie the Pooh characters. I thought they were fun. Crystal Palace because of Pooh Bear, says Leanne. Disney Dan's in here. Dan, you're more than welcome. Spreadshirt, the link is in the description below. Oh, you know what? I should... I won't say it. Melissa will be like, no, don't say that. But I was going to say, maybe we'll give one away one time. We'll have to do a giveaway. All right, so far, we are going to go with... We're going to have to go with Crystal Palace. Everybody's giving Crystal Palace the votes. So Crystal Palace it is. Hollywood Brown Derby is not moving on. All right. So that's another one. So there we go. That's okay, Dougie. It was Hollywood Brown Derby and the Crystal Palace. And again, for those just coming in, thank you for joining us. Please hit the like button. And Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a safe New Year and a good time. There you go, Rob. That sounds good. Yep. All right, so we are going with, again, Crystal Palace is going to move on for us. Yep, yeah, us, Doug. Hey, Steve, welcome in, buddy. Happy New Year to you. So we're doing the next one. Oh, this next one's going to be interesting. I'll be interested to see what everybody picks here. You have, thanks, Sherry, I appreciate it. We have Tony's Town Square, which of course is at the Magic Kingdom, versus Restaurant Marrakesh. That's in the Morocco Pavilion over at Epcot. So, Tony's Town Square versus Restaurant Marrakesh. Who does everybody pick there? Hey, welcome in, Rowan. Happy New Year to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. I put a message out on your last video you posted. That was a very good video. Very good video. And I'm sure it will help a lot of folks. And I hope you're doing well, for sure. So many quality people. It is, though. It really is, Dougie. So Noah says Tony's Town Square. Mary Ellen says Marrakesh. Brian says Marrakesh. Ray J says Marrakesh. Sherry says she wants to try it. I've heard the same thing, Dougie. I swear. There are a lot of people that say that. That is really cool. I don't, not really cool, but that is really interesting. Everybody says that. Everybody says that about Tony's. I can't say. Yeah, my daughter says Tony's is... Tony's, all right, Leanne. Hey, that's the thing. If you love it, you love it. Rowan, don't rush. Take your time. I know there's a lot that's going on, so don't worry about that. Rob says it was underwhelming talking about Tony's. Would like to try it again. Dean, yeah, Dean, we've never eaten at either one of them either. Marrakesh, because I don't know that that's necessarily food I would like. And Tony's because of what I've heard. That's why. Melissa says Marrakesh. Steve says Tony's. Yep, Roman says she hasn't tried either one, but needs to put them on her list. Marrakesh by default for Dougie. Steve says only because he hasn't had restaurant Marrakesh. Canned sauce. Brian, that's what I've heard. I've heard that. Dougie says nothing seemed fresh. That's too bad. All right, well, we're going to go with restaurant Marrakesh because that seems to be getting the most votes, and everybody else is really down on Tony's, so that's not good. All right, so our next matchup. Oh, here's a tough one for you, and I'll be interested to see what everybody picks here. We have Rose and Crown versus Le Cellier. Rose and Crown versus Le Cellier. Dougie's all riled up now. Oh, you're funny. Yeah, it's true. You can get their paw prints. So here we go. Rose and Crown versus Le Cellier. And they're both in Epcot. Actually, no. Yeah. Isn't Rose and Crown in Epcot, folks? Or is that the one down at Disney Springs? Somebody's going to have to let me know. But Dean says Le Cellier. Easy one. Steve says Le Cellier, hands down. Noah, Melissa, Brian. Le Cellier by a porterhouse. That's funny. Yeah, it is Epcot. Okay. Yeah, that steak is pretty darn awesome. Rowan, don't worry about it. There's a ton of these on there I haven't tried either. That's why I'm relying on everybody. I've tried Le Cellier. It's one of my favorite places to eat, if not my favorite place to eat in all of Disney World. And yes, Chris, it's very expensive, but man, it's good. Mary Ellen says Le Cellier. Yeah, they are very close, actually. Yeah, it's in the UK Pavilion. Okay. Casey's. Casey's isn't on this list because it's not a sit-down restaurant. Fresh and Chaps is all wrong at Rose and Crown. Okay, I got you. All right, makes sense. Yep, both in World Showcase. Nah, no problem, Ray J. I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be sure to check them out. I'm glad you said that. Thank you. Be sure to check out Ray J's channel. Hey, Meg, welcome in. No, that's okay. It normally would start later. I just wanted to start a little bit early tonight because I knew we were doing a bracket challenge. So, Ray J, take care. Have a good day. And Happy New Year to you. Very expensive at that steak. Yep, absolutely. I agree. All right, and that would be my pick too, folks. It's going to be Le Cellier. I love Le Cellier. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, Leanne, that's a good idea. And a lot of times you kind of have to. Because there's no seats available in Casey's to be able to sit down in there. They're always taken. I don't think I've ever sat there. Like maybe the end of the night when they closed. That was it. Other than that, we couldn't get anything. But, all right, so next matchup, as I'm just rambling here. Oh, this is a good one, too. Oh, man, where's Zoe when we need her? We have 50s Primetime Cafe versus Garden Grill. 50s Primetime Cafe versus Garden Grill. Ooh, that's a good matchup. I'm sorry, 50s Primetime Cafe. 50s Primetime Cafe versus Garden Grill. Yes, and happy birthday to Noah, by the way, everybody. Everybody out there, Noah's birthday was, I think it's today, if I'm not mistaken. So happy birthday to Noah, everybody. Be sure to wish him a happy birthday. Noah's a big supporter of a lot of our channels, and happy birthday to him. All right, so Brian says Garden Grill, Leanne Garden Grill, Noah Garden Grill, the birthday boy. Rowan says Garden Grill. It is the bomb, Rowan. I agree. Their food's fantastic there. We've eaten there for breakfast and lunch, and I enjoyed both. Yeah, Chris, this is a hard one. This is a hard one. Okay, Dougie's taking a Garden Grill because he had eaten at 50s one time and it wasn't that great. Sherry, this is hard. I agree. Meg, try to get the Garden Grill. I think you'd like it. I really do. Chris says Garden Grill. PB&J Milkshake, Rob says at 50s. I didn't know that. How about that? Thanks, Sherry. I appreciate the birthday shout out as well. Steve, try Garden Grill. We haven't eaten at 50s prime time, but Garden Grill I think you'll like a lot. Get picked on at 50s. You do, Leanne. I heard that too. Yeah, you'll like it, Meg. I'm telling you. I think you'll like it a lot. Yes, Rowan, very good point. Yep, you keep bringing food to your table and you get to meet characters best of both worlds. I agree 100%. Character interaction is really good and the food is really good. This is one of the few that has both a really good character experience and really good food. That's the one thing about Garden Grill. Yes, Dean, another one, Dean. Good point. You not only is the food really good and the character is really good, but you can also see part of the land, Living with the Land ride. You can look down. Plus, it moves. It's really cool. So obviously, I'm going to agree with everybody. And Garden Grill, I'm looking off to the side because that's where my bracket is. Everybody is going to move on. Garden Grill is moving on. All right, so here comes a couple of them down, and the restaurant rotates. Yep, that's exactly right, Juan. Good point. It certainly does. All right, so our next matchup is Maria and Enzo's. Maria and Enzo's versus Paddlefish, two Disney Springs restaurants. Maria and Enzo's, can't say that word. I keep saying Enzo's, like football, versus Paddlefish. Maria and Enzo's is pretty new. It's been open, I think, less than a year at this point. So who does everybody pick there? Dougie says he enjoys anywhere where they keep bringing you food. Bring me food, I eat the food. More food appears. Beautiful. It's true. Chris says, great character interaction. Chip Force fed my young daughter mac and cheese. That does sound like fun. Oh, Chris, that's so funny. Oh, Steve, you got to try. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, paddle. We haven't either, but they both look really, really cool. But Dean says Paddlefish. That's all right, Meg. We haven't tried either one of them either, but if you had to pick one, and I'll say this, if it's something that you haven't eaten in either one, vote for the one that you think you'd want to try, or the one if you had to choose between the two to try, you would try. Oh, that's okay. Again, just vote for one that you think, if you haven't eaten either one, that you think, well, I think I would want to try that one, or that would be the one I'd pick over the other if I had to choose between eating them. Brian says Maria and Enzo is kind of a speakeasy vibe. Yeah, it does have that. Paddlefish sounds cooler. You know what else, Steve, what's funny about Paddlefish? If you ever get a chance, go out and look at some videos on Paddlefish, or look at pictures. It's pretty neat. It's the old Fulton's Crab House boat. It looks really nice in there. It's pretty nice looking. Rowan, I'm telling you, there's a lot of these that we haven't eaten that either. The first one. So Maria and Enzo's for Dougie. Chris says Maria and Enzo's. But Steve, well, and that's the thing too, Steve. If you don't like seafood, Paddlefish may not be the way to go. It may be Maria and Enzo's. I think it's more Italian, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All right, so that would have been the one that I would have picked too. I would pick, if I had to pick between the two, I would have picked Maria and Enzo's because that's one of the ones I want to try. And I like the way it's set up in there. It almost looks like you're at an airport terminal. That's the way it's kind of themed in there. It looks really, really cool. See, I love seafood. I do. I love seafood. Lobster, crab, shrimp. Oh man, fish. I don't know why. I enjoy it. Maybe it's because I'm from Maryland. I don't know, but I enjoy it. Yeah, it's amazing. A lot of people don't like seafood. That's really crazy. Makes you seasick. All right, so our next matchup. Here's a good one. I'll be interested to see what everybody picked. Me too, no, I love seafood too, buddy. Is Boatwrights. Boatwrights is over at Coronado Springs, I think, or Caribbean Beach. It's at one of those, Boatwrights versus Chef Mickey's. Chef Mickey's, of course, is over at the Contemporary. It is a character dining experience with the Fab Five. So Boatwrights versus Chef Mickey's. Yeah, and that's just it, Steve. Best seafood in Baltimore is it's obviously crab cakes, and we have a place down here called oh my gosh, it's called G&M's. They do unbelievable crab cakes, probably like the size of that. It's gigantic. They do great crab cakes, but it's definitely crab cake. That's the best in Baltimore. Oh, Port Orleans, that's where it is. Okay, thanks, Chris. I couldn't remember. But Boatwrights versus versus Chef Mickey's. So we have Steve says Boatwrights. Brian, Meg, and Melissa say Chef Mickey's. Rowan says Chef Mickey's. Yeah, food's not great, but it's okay. Noah says Chef Mickey's. Port Orleans, Riverside, that's where it is. Okay. Rowan says, I like the character interactions. You're really paying for the characters. Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of these, I think that's what you're doing, is you're paying for the character experience for sure. Dean says he'd like to try Boatwrights, but Chef Mickey's is pretty fun. Chef Mickey's from Leanne. Yeah, it's true. Rob says Chef Mickey's. Dougie says Chef Mickey's, subpar food, but with a great character interaction, plus loads of those weird, delicious things you guys call biscuits, even though they ain't biscuits. Well, I'm glad you like them. What are they called over there, Dougie? What do you guys call them? All right, Chris says he's not a fan of Chef Mickey's, but he'll vote it because he likes the character interaction, and that's fine. And that's the point. It's sometimes the experience can win you over, even though the food isn't great. Melissa wouldn't agree. She wants the food to be good, but it can happen. Sherry says Boatwrights. She says the food at Chef Mickey's is not that great to me, except the carved meat. But the characters are, yeah, it is a pretty amazing experience. It's pretty good. We don't have them. Well, they're bread. Some kind of bread, I guess. All right, well, I'm going with Chef Mickey's because I've experienced it. Melissa and I have experienced it with the boys. We enjoyed it. We thought it was a lot of fun when we did it. The characters were great. It was awesome. So we're going with Chef Mickey's. All right. Biscuits and gravy. That's what's for breakfast in Oklahoma. There you go. Very good, Leanne. All right, last matchup on this side, on the right side. I have to do the right side. I guess this is what you guys see. And this is the last one over here. It's going to be two more down at Disney Springs. We're going to have Morimoto Asia versus the Edison. Morimoto Asia versus the Edison. Both of these are relatively new. I think Morimoto Asia has been around a little bit longer, but neither one of these are really, really old. They've only been around for a few years. So who do you guys pick there? Morimoto Asia versus the Edison. Noah says the Edison. All right, so there's a pick for the Edison. All right, Chris says the Edison. I thought the Edison, I think they have like your normal American fare, Rowan, and somebody else can chime in on this, like steak and stuff like that. That's what the Edison is. Steve says he's going with the Iron Chef, Morimoto Asia. Brian says he's going with Morimoto Asia. Dougie says the Edison. Leanne says the Edison. Same Steve. Meg says she's agreeing with Steve. I know a lot of these are... that's true, Sherry. The Edison has entertainment. I agree 100%. They have entertainment throughout the day. It gets a little bit more adult type. I don't even want to say it that way because that's going to sound bad. But you're right. The Edison's pretty cool with the entertainment. And the inside of it looks pretty cool. Pricey, but Rob says it was pricey, but he loved the Edison. Dean says Morimoto Asia. I think for me, I've not eaten either one of these, but I literally wanted to see what the Edison looked like inside, that I stopped and went in there and was really impressed with what I saw on the inside of it. For me, if I had to choose between one of these two to eat at, I'm choosing the Edison. That's the one I'm going to choose. So for me, I'm going to choose the Edison to move on right here. Let's see what everybody else has to say. I don't know, Dougie, which one will feed you the best cake. Sherry says she's not sure what the menu has except the bacon on the clothesline that Spokes had, and that looked pretty cool. Yeah, it did look pretty cool. I remember that. The entertainment, Rowan, is like dancing, and they have like bands come in and singers come in. And it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. If you get a chance, watch any video you see on the Edison. After 10 o'clock, it kind of really steps up a notch as well. So it looked pretty cool, actually. It looked pretty cool. Meg says, I don't have too much knowledge about all Disney restaurants, so this is great. Yeah, I agree. It helps a lot. Jen says, hey, Meg, just wanted to tell you I really... Oh, very nice. That was nice. Very good, Jen. Yeah, Meg has a great channel. She certainly does. Steve says he thought he did, but apparently he needs to get around more. There's a lot of restaurants at Disney World, guys. I was able to find 64 of them. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, Chris. I would say it's teetering on that. That's true. Yeah, I would. For me, it's going to be the Edison. I think that looks really, really great. No, probably not, Dougie. All right, so we have 2 brackets down, and now we're going to move to our bottom left bracket. Left bracket? I don't know. You guys decide. I don't know where the left is on this thing. This is my left, but I guess this is your left. But anyway, I know. Where is Dan? He was in here earlier. I think I lost him. He must not be commenting. He was here, Meg. All right, so here we go. Next bracket. We are going to have the Maya Grill. The Maya Grill versus the Coral Reef Restaurant. Maya Grill, if I'm not mistaken, is at the Polynesian. You guys can chime in on that. I think that's where it is. And the Coral Reef is at Epcot. It's over by the Seas with Nemo and Friends. It's over that way. Maya Grill versus Coral Reef. He might be, Dougie. You're right. If Steve says Coral Reef, Rowan says Coral Reef. There you go. Mary Ellen says Coral Reef. Yes, that's exactly right, Rowan, over by the toothpaste wall. That's true. Maya is at Coronado. That's where it is. Thanks, Steve. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember. Chris says he's not voting on this one. I don't want to eat it either one. Dean says Coral Reef, awesome atmosphere. It does look really nice in there, Dean. I agree. That's the one where you can see the fish and all as you're eating. Yeah, okay. Meg, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. They have really good cauliflower. How about that? And, you know, most of these restaurants, if not all of them, are on the Disney dining plan. And most of them are one table service credit. There are several that are 2, like Le Cellier. That's a 2 table service credit. Remember that, guys, if you're ever thinking about booking it. Coronado, thanks, Sherry. So Sherry saying Coral Reef. A lot of people are saying Coral Reef. And Coral Reef. Leanne says Coral Reef was a disappointment. Huh. Mahi Mahi at Coral Reef is a must have. Huh, Rob? Cool. Okay, cauliflower is the best. There you go, Meg. I hate cauliflower. Actually, I don't think I've ever had it. Well, I don't think I would like it. Yeah, I haven't heard very good things about Coral Reef either. And Maya Grill looks like it could be interesting. I'd like to try it one time. Oh, you can. I didn't know that, Meg. Meg says you can have your wedding reception in Coral Reef. Not that she looked into it or anything. Noah's saying Coral Reef as well. Steve says he eats there every other trip. Huh, how about that? All right, then we're going to go with the Coral Reef. How about that? Most people, it looks like, are voting for Coral Reef. So there we go. All right, we're going to try to move along here because I know we're about a little more than halfway through. Raglan Road versus Nine Dragons. Raglan Road versus Nine Dragons. Cauliflower. Hey, nothing wrong with that, Meg. If that's your favorite veggie. Sooner Girls, the waiter was awesome, but took so long to get our food. By the time we got out, the park was closed. Oh, jeez. That's crazy. The revolution starts here, Dougie. Melissa says Raglan Road. Raglan Road is the one It's in Disney Springs. It's kind of the Irish, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can correct me on that. It's kind of got an Irish flair to it. They got the dancers in there, the Irish dancers, kind of the Celtic dancers. And they have some bands in there from time to time. Looks like a really nice atmosphere. And of course, Nine Dragons is over in the China Pavilion in Epcot. Steve, we ate at the China Pavilion too. We ate at Nine Dragons, and we were not impressed either, be honest with you. Sherry, Noah, they say Raglan Road. Melissa, yeah, Disney Springs. Yeah, Chris says he wants to try Raglan Road. Nine Dragons is normal Chinese food. That's a good point. Mary Ellen picks Nine Dragons, though. Meg, we tried Nine Dragons, Melissa and I and the family. We weren't majorly impressed. Excuse me. Yes, Meg says, oh, Sherry says it's Irish. Right. Yep. Cooks of Dublin. Okay. Yep, Meg, that's a good one. Raglan Road, good food and entertainment. Yep. Rob, I agree. I think that would be, I've eaten at Nine Dragons. We were not impressed. But I do want to try, and I'm not, again, you know me, I'm not very much of an adventurous eater, but I think I want to try Raglan Road. If for no other reason, a lot of the entertainment in there and the atmosphere looks amazing. I would love to try it one time. So Raglan Road is going to move on. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Yep, if everybody can hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. Hey, the Random Collection. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy New Year to you. We are doing our Disney Dining Bracket Challenge. Hope you can stay around for a while and give us some votes. All right, the next matchup. Oh, this is a tough one, everybody. It's going to be the Tusker House over at Animal Kingdom. Tusker House versus 1900 Park Fair, which is at the Grand Floridian. Tusker House versus 1900 Park Fair. Who does everybody pick there? Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you hitting that like button, buddy. Tusker House versus 1900 Park Fair. What do we say there? I agree, Steve. This is a tough one. Dougie says Scottish people are better. Brian, Tusker House. Leanne, Tusker House. Meg, Tusker House. Noah, 1900 Park Fair. Sherry, Tusker House had the best food I've ever had. How about that? That's interesting. Dean says he wants to try Tusker House. It looks very cool. Mary Ellen said Tusker House. Okay. All right. Dougie says he's only going to marry a girl with an Irish accent. That's funny. Chris says, I've heard Tusker House food is like Boma, so that we did Park Fair and it was okay. Characters were great. Food was average. Okay. All right. Yep. Steve says he's not impressed with the food either, but we'll go with 1900 because of the characters. Okay. Meg says she would eat there 100 times. Hey, Rosie, welcome in. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Rob says he loves Tusker House. Great buffet. Meg says Irish accents are... They are cool, actually. Very cool. Steve's going to vote Rusher House. Tusker, I know. Welcome in, Rosie. I hope you're doing well. Well, I'm going to vote for Tusker House as well. We ate at Tusker House in our last trip. We enjoyed it. We really enjoyed the characters. I just wish they had come around a little bit quicker. We had to wait a little while to get to the characters, but the food was good, and it's expensive, though. But Tusker House is good food. Yep, we had a good time with it. Well, Brian, Tusker House, it's buffet. So you're going to get a little bit of everything. It's buffet style. So it's not necessarily a menu, but it is a sit down. So yeah, they have everything. But it was good. It was good. Sherry says, don't miss Tusker House if you go to Animal Kingdom. Yeah, it was good. We enjoyed it. And the thing about Tusker House is there's not a ton of sit-down restaurants at Animal Kingdom. And that's true, Meg, and that's part of what makes an experience is if you do have those dietary restrictions, to be able to have a selection of food that's going to meet those restrictions and help you, it's going to make for a better experience as well. I agree. Yeah, it is one of the better buffets at Disney. I agree. Yep, there you go. So there we go. And Leanne, then Tusker House is right up his alley if he loves them. All right, next matchup. Oh, here's a tough one. Here's a tough one. Boathouse down at Disney Springs versus Cinderella's Royal Table. Boathouse versus Cinderella's Royal Table. Who does everybody pick here? That's a tough one. Boathouse versus Cinderella's Royal Table. Who does everybody choose there? Well, I think Melissa, you like falafel too, don't you? I'm pretty sure Melissa likes falafel too, Meg. Oh, a dairy allergy. Okay. Sherry says Cinderella's Royal Table for the characters. Boathouse. Dean says Boathouse because that's Lou Mangello's favorite. Meg says, of course, Cinderella's Royal Table. Brian says Boathouse. Chris says Boathouse. That's one of his on his future list. Us too. I'd like to try that. I've tried to get Melissa to let me go there a couple times, Chris. She wouldn't let me. Says it was too expensive. Sherry says, but Boathouse for the food. Okay. Not Boathouse. Steve says Boathouse for the food, Cinderella's for the experience. Not really sure. Maybe Boathouse for Leanne. Both. Rosie says both. Dougie says, I missed something about Irish accents. Who has them? Can I marry them? They do have very good food, Meg. I agree. Well, everybody, you got to vote for one. You got to vote for either Boathouse or Cinderella's Royal Table. Can't vote for both. Or one because of the experience and one because of the food. Meg, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know you were an Irish citizen. Pretty cool. Sherry's son is vegan too. How about that? So Boathouse versus Cinderella's Royal Table. I know which way I'm going with this one. I'm just curious as to what you guys say. Rosie says both. I only got room for one though. So, all right. So I'm going with, in my opinion, I've tried Cinderella's Royal Table. We enjoyed the experience there a lot. We haven't tried Boathouse yet. So I got to go with Cinderella's Royal Table. All right. So the next matchup, and this one's kind of hard too. And I don't know who, I'm hoping some of you would have eaten at one of these two, is Artist Point, which of course now has changed the way they do things over there. They now have a different type of character dining over there. It's Artist Point versus Narcoossee's. Narcoossee's is over at the Grand Floridian. Artist Point versus Narcoossee's. Narcoossee's is the one right on the water over by at the Grand Floridian. And of course, Artist Point is at Wilderness Lodge. And they just changed it to like a storybook dining over there now with Snow White, the Evil Queen, Grumpy, and Dopey. Dean says Narcoossee's. See, Dougie, I like cheese. Steve says Artist Point. Noah says Artist Point. Rosie's going back to Hollywood Studios for her birthday this year in April. Well, happy birthday in April, Rosie. Our two sons, their birthdays are in April as well. Yeah, we want to try that Artist Point Snow White thing too, Chris. Brian says Artist Point. Hey, Isaac, welcome in, buddy. Happy New Year. Meg says, take me to Snow White dining. Dean says Narcoossee's because they keep mentioning it on the monorail. That's pretty cool. Welcome in, buddy. Hope you're doing well, Isaac. Artist Point for Mary Ellen. Melissa says Snow White dining as well. Artist Point. Really want to try this one. Yep. All right. Okay. Well, that probably would have been the one I would have picked too because I really want to try that new storybook dining. So Artist Point moves on. Next matchup. Oh, these are two biggies right here. One of these is considered like the top. So let's see what everybody picks here. Victoria and Albert's versus Art Smith's Homecoming. Meg says her and the Evil Queen would hit it off. They're totally meant to be friends. That's funny. So there we go. The next one, Victoria and Albert's versus Art Smith's Homecoming. Who does everybody pick there? Steve, Victoria and Albert's. Dean, Victoria and Albert's. Brian, Victoria and Albert's. I hope he takes you, Meg, one time. Chris says Homecoming is really good. Victoria and Albert's is on my bucket list, though, so I'll vote that. Noah, Victoria and Albert's. Isaac, Victoria and Albert's. Meg picks Dole Whip. That's funny. Melissa, I'm interested to see how you're going to pick on this one. Rob says Homecoming, more my style. Would like to go one time to Victoria and Albert's, too. Okay. All right. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about Victoria and Albert's wins awards all the time. That's the key, Meg. That's the exact key with Victoria and Albert's. It's so expensive. I mean, we're talking hundreds upon hundreds of dollars to eat there. But Melissa says Art Smith's Homecoming. For me, we've eaten at Homecoming. I have to admit, I wasn't overly blown away by Art Smith's Homecoming. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I've not eaten at Victoria and Albert's, so I can't really vote on it. But I think I'll vote Art Smith's because I have tried it and I did enjoy it. And I haven't tried it at Victoria and Albert's yet. But I know a lot of you picked the Victoria and Albert's, but on this one I'm going to have to go with Art Smith's. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be hard. Maybe we can all pour our money together and, some of us, we can, share the food. All right, so last matchup on this bracket, last two, we have Wine Bar George, which is pretty new down at Disney Springs. Wine Bar George versus the Yak and Yeti restaurant over at Animal Kingdom. Wine Bar George versus Yak and Yeti. And I appreciate everybody staying in. I know we're kind of running over an hour, but I want to try to get this first bracket, first round done before we head on out tonight. Oh, Dougie, that'd be great, man. Don't tempt us. That place is not cheap, let me tell you. It would not be cheap. All right, so let's see. Melissa, Yak and Yeti. Steve says Wine Bar George. And he's never eaten there, and he'd still pick it. Brian says Yak and Yeti. Meg says Yak and Yeti for Corey and Haley. Isaac says Yak and Yeti. Noah says Wine Bar George. Chris says he hasn't eaten either one. Not a wine person, so Yak and Yeti. Steve, you hated Yak and Yeti? Tried it twice? That's crazy. How about that? Rob, Yak and Yeti. It's pretend money. Well, we have tried Yak and Yeti. Melissa and I tried it 2 trips ago. Not this last trip, but the trip before. I enjoyed it. I don't know, Steve. I'm sorry you had bad experiences, but we actually enjoyed the food. What I got, my appetizer was great. My main course was great. I think they're great. Rosie, you've never been to Magic Kingdom before? Oh my gosh, you have to go to Magic Kingdom. That's the best part. I hope you get to go there. Yeah, Yak and Yeti, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really good. Wine Bar George, though, looks good. They have these things called steak fries. Literally steak on top of fries. Or fries on top of it. They look awesome. I don't know. I'd like to try that place, too. Yeah, Steve, that makes sense. That makes sense. Definitely give them a couple tries, because you're right. Yes, the fire... Yeah, that's exactly what I got, Chris. I got the firecracker shrimp. They were great. They were fantastic. Wow, you like Studios better. How about that? That's pretty cool, Rosie. Huh. Well, I'm going to go with Yak and Yeti because I actually enjoyed it. And for me, that's saying a lot because that's normally not my kind of food. All right, last matchup in this bracket, and then we move on to the final bracket for tonight, is another good matchup. These are both over at Magic Kingdom, and we have Liberty Tree Tavern versus the Plaza Restaurant. Liberty Tree Tavern versus the Plaza Restaurant. Who does everybody pick there? That's another tough one. Brian, I would have to say those firecracker shrimp, and again, I guess how you handle spices is going to be different with each and every person. I think I'm usually pretty good with that, but those firecracker shrimp was pretty spicy. The food in general was pretty spicy, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Dean says Yak and Yeti as well. So Melissa's picking Liberty Tree. Dougie's picking Liberty Tree. Steve and Megs and Chris say the Plaza. Brian says Liberty Tree. Isaac says the Plaza. Rosie, I like Hollywood Studios. I enjoy Hollywood Studios, but Magic Kingdom just has a special place for me. So we got votes for all three, for both of these. Plaza's getting them. Liberty Tree's getting them. This is going to be a tough one. Noah says Liberty Tree. Let's see what everybody else says. We can get a couple more votes in here. Oh my gosh. That's a cool man. Dougie, I hope you're all right from that. My goodness. All right. So we've eaten, Melissa and I have eaten at Liberty Tree twice. Both times we ate there, we loved it. We thought it was fantastic. We knew that, Steve. Kylo is at Rosie. He is at Hollywood Studios. Yep, he certainly is. He's a cool character. I am going with Liberty Tree on this one. The Plaza, I would like to try that one time. We have not tried it yet. We've eaten at Liberty Tree a couple times. We loved both of them. I'm going with Liberty Tree on this one. All right, so that's it. Last bracket coming up. Meg, oh, I got to show you, Meg. You got to see this. Look, check it out. I don't know if you were here earlier. Melissa got me my first T-shirt with Mouse Talk on it. Isn't that cool? Got my own T-shirt. Ducky, oh my gosh. Oh, okay. All right, so here we go. Last bracket for tonight of the first round. This will finish out the first round. We have the Yachtsman Steakhouse versus Spice Road Table. So Yachtsman, which of course is over at, I think, the Grand Floridian as well. Man, they have some really nice restaurants over there. Yachtsman Steakhouse versus Spice Road Table. Spice Road Table is in the Morocco Pavilion at Epcot. So who do we pick there? Guys, if you really like this shirt, you know you can get them on Spreadshirt. Just go in the link. There's a link in the description below if you're looking for a Mouse Talk T-shirt. I got to plug it. I got to. All right, so who do we have? So Meg's bottomless milkshakes. There you go. So Steve says Yachtsman. God, Rosie, God, who's your husband? That's funny. Brian says Yachtsman. Melissa says Spice Road Table. Yeah, I know you want to try that, Melissa. Chris says Yachtsman. Oh, it's at the Yacht Club. I'm sorry. Thank you. And he would pick that. Okay. Is it Boardwalk or Yacht Club? Which one? I don't know. I don't know where it is, but I heard it's very good. I'll find it. So far, oh geez, Yachtsman. I'm gonna cough, guys. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. Excuse me. So we got some good ones so far. Yachtsman. All right, so we're getting there. I'm gonna go with, for me, and I got like a frog in my throat now all of a sudden, guys. So a couple of them for Yachtsman. Melissa says Spice Road Table. I know that she really wants to try the food at Morocco a lot. So we'll see. One of these times we'll try to get her there. But I'm gonna go with Yachtsman because I've really wanted to try that place. I've heard good things about it. So that would be my pick. Alright, so let's move on. The next matchup. We're almost done, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging in there. We have Tutto Italia. Tutto Italia versus Terralina. Terralina is one of the new ones down at Disney Springs. So Tutto Italia versus Terralina. Two very good restaurants. Tutto Italia is over at the Italy Pavilion in Epcot. Terralina is down at Disney Springs. Yes, good idea, Chris. That's a good idea. I'll take her there if she can take me to Boathouse. Steve, I've not eaten at either one of them either. But again, if you had to pick one, who would you pick? Where would you go? Tutto Italia for Brian. Epcot Bob, I know. He's pretty cool, Rosie. Tutto Italia for Steve as well. That's funny. Tutto Italia. Chris says Tutto Italia. Same for Noah. He says Tutto Italia. That's funny. You know, I'm probably going to go with that one too. I do think I want to try Terralina, though. I'll be honest with you. I think it looks like it's got some pretty good items in there, some pretty good menu items that I'd like to try. But I'd also like to try Tutto Italia. I love Italian food, and I would like to try that one. Yep, that's true. Dougie, good one. All right, next mashup. And this is another good matchup. I think this one for me is pretty easy. It's going to be Rainforest Cafe, and you can choose either one. You can choose the one at Disney Springs or the one at Animal Kingdom. It's up to you. Rainforest Cafe versus Whispering Canyon Cafe. Whispering Canyon, of course, is over at Wilderness Lodge. So who does everybody pick with that one? We're almost done. We got about 5 matchups to go, and then we'll be done for the night. Rainforest Cafe versus Whispering Canyon Cafe. Noah and Steve save Rainforest. How about that? Okay. Melissa says Whispering Canyon Cafe. You know, it's funny. We stayed at Wilderness Lodge 2 trips ago, and we didn't eat there. It was right there. Chris says Whispering Canyon for the ketchup. Don't ask him for ketchup because you're going to get plenty of it. So a couple votes for Rainforest, a couple votes for Whispering Canyon. Brian says Whispering Canyon Cafe. Oh, Brian said for the ketchup. I thought it was Chris that said that. I'm sorry. Brian wants to try Whispering Canyon. We do too, Brian. I mean, Chris. We want to try it too, buddy. So I think for me, I've tried Rainforest Cafe. It's fine. It's a nice experience. Steve says the food was better at Whispering Canyon. He was upset with how nice they were at Whispering Canyon, but the food was better at Rainforest. That's funny. Well, I'm going to go with Whispering Canyon for me. Rainforest is fine, but I can get the Rainforest Cafe downtown Baltimore. Whispering Canyon, it's just a different experience. All right, next one. Here's a good one for you guys. These are talking about different ends of the spectrum here. We have Boma over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Boma versus the Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue. Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue versus Boma. 2 very good. We've done both of these. Melissa and I have done Boma, and we've done Hoop-Dee-Doo. Very tough choice here. Chris says if I say it's fine, the vote should be for the other one. That's funny. So Steve says Boma. Melissa says, oh no. Yeah, you got to pick one, Melissa. Best regular buffet on property for you is Boma. Okay. It was good, Steve. I agree. It's really good there. Noah says Boma. Brian says he only goes to Rainforest for the volcano. Brian says both. Boma or Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue? Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Revue. Hoop-Dee-Boma Revue. All right. Well, I know where I'm going with this one. So for me, it's going to be about... Food has a lot to do with it. I liked Boma a lot. But I like the food at Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue as well. And I also like the fact that you get a major show with it. And the show's fantastic. So for me, the experience is going to win out here. And for me, it's got to be Hoop-Dee-Doo Revue. I'm sorry. I mean, I like Boma. I did. I enjoyed Boma. And again, for me, that's saying a lot. I think it was a very, very good buffet. But Hoop-Dee-Doo is one of my favorites. So I'm going with the Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Revue. All right, 4 more to go, guys. We're almost done. Chris says no. Next pick. Here we go. You ready? Via Napoli. Via Napoli over at the Italy Pavilion in Epcot versus STK Orlando. STK Orlando down at Disney Springs. Chocoholic for Brian. So STK Orlando versus Via Napoli. Who does everybody have there? Melissa and Steve say Via Napoli. Brian, Noah, Via Napoli. Chris says his older daughter says Via Napoli is good, so he'll go with Via Napoli. Steve says he ate there a couple of months ago and it was amazing. Which ones? Oh, Via Napoli. Yeah. We've eaten at Via Napoli twice, Melissa and I and the boys, and we thought it was amazing both times. So Via Napoli is my pick there on this one. For me, this is a no-brainer. I would like to try STK Orlando at some point, but I'm going to go with Via Napoli. All right, guys, 3 matchups to go, and then we are done for this first round. The next one is the La Cantina de San Angel over at the Mexico Pavilion versus Chefs de France over at the France Pavilion. So the La Cantina de San Angel, because there's a couple different ones that are kind of named the same, versus Chefs de France. Who do you pick there? I've not eaten at either one of these. I think Melissa might have ate at one of them now. Everybody has a couple of people still hanging on. Melissa and Steve both say the Mexico one. A couple more. Mary Ellen says La Cantina as well. Oh, that's right, Melissa. That's the one you eat at all the time. Brian says the Mexico one as well. Chris says he's going to Chefs de France in February, so he's picking that one. Noah's picking La Cantina as well. All right, then we're going to go with the Mexico one. I've not eaten either one of these, so it's kind of hard for me to pick. No, Chris, I think that's the one on the outside. That's not the one on the inside. I do know that much, at least. All right, 2 more to go. And speaking of the one on the inside, Chris, here it is. We have Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano over at Hollywood Studios, kind of tucked away in the back there, over by the Muppets store, versus San Angel Inn. And I think the San Angel Inn is the one that's on the inside of the pavilion, Chris. So San Angel Inn versus Mama Melrose. Who does everybody pick there? This is it. 2 matchups left. Mama Melrose. Steve says San Angel. Oh, no problem, Dougie. We're done. We're at the end, buddy. We got this matchup and one more. You too, buddy. Thanks a lot and Happy New Year. Thanks for stopping in. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you. So Mary Ellen and Noah say Mama Melrose, and that would have been my pick. That would have been my pick. I'm not into Mexican food, and I've not heard good things. Everybody say goodbye to Dougie. I've not heard good things about the San Angel Inn on the inside. I've not heard it's good food, so that would be my pick. In this matchup. It was luck of the draw. I swear to God, I drew the names out of a hat. I really did. And last matchup of the first round, and this is the last matchup tonight, everybody. And it is Flying Fish over at the Boardwalk, if I'm not mistaken, versus Cape May Cafe. The Flying Fish versus Cape May Cafe. 2 very good restaurants. And I need somebody to pick one there. Flying Fish versus Cape May Cafe. And while you guys are voting, just a few things. Again, if you're new to the channel, if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. We do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday. We have Mouse Madness on Tuesday nights. We have Disney Talk Thursdays on Thursday nights. We have a lot of new stuff coming up this year. We're going to try our best to bring on more videos as well. And we're also going to bring back our podcast. Melissa and I have been speaking about it for a while now. The podcast is going to be strictly news. It's not going to be a live stream. It's going to be posted on YouTube, though. It's not going to be your traditional podcast. We're going to try it that way for a while. Hopefully, you guys will join us for that. It'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be all news related, and we did that for a long time. We're going to try to get back to that as well. Hope you guys will join us for all that stuff. Okay, so let's see. Steve says neither one. Mary Ellen and Brian say Cape May Cafe. Noah says Cape May Cafe. Really, Steve? That's interesting. How about that? Is it a bad smell? Chris says he's heard things about Cape May. He'll pick that one. No one ever mentions Flying Fish. Yeah. Yep, yeah, the podcast, hopefully is going to return, Brian. It's going to be a little bit of a different from what we've done in the past. I know you're used to getting it on iTunes. We might go back to that at some point. It's all about cost, to be honest with you. So we might just do the podcast and then put it on YouTube, but we'll see. It's fun. And then seafood, right, Steve? I agree. Gotcha. Well, for me, Steve, I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to have to go with flying fish because I've heard very good things about flying fish. So, for me, folks, it's going to be flying fish. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's it. We have narrowed it down from 64 restaurants. Lost your iTunes account. Oh, my gosh, Brian. We are down from 64 restaurants. We have now cut it in half. We are down to 32. And the dog must know I'm done because he's up and about. So we are down to our final 32, and we are going to do part 2 of this next Tuesday night. We're going to get down to the final ones, talk about them. Yeah, we try to do different brackets, Steve. Thought it'd be nice to do something different. We're saving the attractions bracket for Mouse Madness in March. We're going to do a real one. Except for the Boma one I messed up. I agree. I'm sorry. But I hope you guys had a good time tonight. I definitely did. Please hit that like button on your way out. Please go ahead and share the stream for those that maybe want to watch on the replay. We got a lot of stuff where I know everybody has resolutions for 2019. We're hoping to get to 1,500 subscribers on YouTube and hopefully 500 subscribers on Twitter. And, we'll see where we get with Facebook. We have a lot over there. We're very lucky. But we thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking time out of your day. We had a great time with everybody. For those that are watching on the replay, go out and subscribe to some of these channels. There's some great channels in here. Thanks to Dean over at the Live Play, Streamers Empire. Great family-friendly streams over there. Disney and other stuff, too. Be sure to check out theliveplace.com. And everybody, I had a good time tonight. I hope you all did, too. I know everybody was in and out, and we ran over by a lot. But everybody have a great night. Take care of yourselves and each other. Check the description down below. There's all kinds of different things down there. How to support T-shirts if you're looking into T-shirts. All kinds of stuff. But I just appreciate you being here. That's what's most important. Thanks, everybody. Steve, Brian, Chris, everybody that was in there tonight. Mary Ellen, Dougie, thanks, guys. So much fun. I appreciate it. It was fun. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Take care of yourselves and each other. See you soon. Bye-bye.